What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. Shout out to my man Game Time Brian. It's his birthday along with my daughter. It's her birthday as well. And hope everybody's having a great Monday. We'll be doing our live stream, of course, at 9 o'clock Eastern like we always do. But I'm sitting here, I'm actually going on the app formerly known as Twitter. It's now Elon Musk on X or whatever it is. And I'm looking at all of the tweets about Mazi Smith. And I realize what the problem is for Mazi Smith. One, expectations are the building blocks of resentments. Because people automatically expect a guy to come out of the box to be a Hall of Famer, it's kind of ridiculous. And also, a lot of people don't necessarily understand the position. The thing that's crazy to me is that Mazi Smith is already being Dak Prescotted. By that, I mean people are automatically looking and saying, he's here to stop the run, so he's supposed to make every tackle. It's not exactly how it works. Even when I look at the clips where people have done on Twitter and they're literally saying, well, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. He's requiring double teams. Do you understand what a double team is? Let me explain. A double team means I'm taking two people to guard one guy. Two people to guard one guy. That is job numero uno. Flat out. I'm not going to turn around and say that Mazi Smith is the greatest defensive lineman. But what was interesting to me was I was remembering in 2020, the first game of the season, where we had Tyrone Crawford played tackle and defensive end. And people would always say, don't say anything about Tyrone Crawford because he does the dirty work. Doing dirty work and doing exceptional are two different things. And I was remembering some of the plays where the middle of the field looked like the parting of the Red Sea. So I went back and I just got the highlights from NFL.com of that game. So it's like a 13-minute clip. And I'm looking at Don Terry Poe and how Don Terry Poe literally would stand up. Veteran, great veteran. At some points, he was a really good player. But he was so fat that he basically jogged downfield, got pushed all over the place, was being pushed around on one-on-one blocks. And as I looked at some of the clips I've seen on Twitter here of Mazi Smith, he's still requiring double teams. He got pushed around some. And I also want to point out, too, that he is being thrown to the wolves and having to learn more things. Because in this Dallas Cowboys defense, a linebacker isn't just a linebacker, as a safety isn't just a safety. And one technique isn't just a one technique. You're going to shift. You're going to play over the guard. You're going to play over the center. Hell, you might end up being over the tackle, the way Dan Quinn moves things. We've seen Van Der Esch at middle linebacker. We've seen him at edge rusher. We've seen D-Law at edge rushing and tackle. And this is predicated on confusing the offenses with the defensive looks. Typically, you would see a defensive end. He's a defensive end. He's going to line up outside. No, he's lined up in the middle. What do? And so as we've seen, where we've only had 8 padded practices and 2 preseason games, we're expecting him to be a, all-pro. And we're expecting him to do things that you're not expected to do as a nose guard. Tackles are not it. They're kind of like icing on the cake. Because ultimately, if he's just doing his job, which is not making tackles, which is not getting sacks, the team will be getting those. And so let's kind of slow your roll a little bit with Mazi Smith of the whole he's a bust. Sorry, 2 preseason games with second and third teamers does not make or break a career. There's a lot of guys that look great in preseason that suck in the regular season and vice versa. But I can tell you this much. If you put Mazi Smith out on that field with Micah Parsons out there, and D-Law on the other side, and you put Hankins, let's say OC, I guarantee you that teams are going to have a hard time against that front. Because you can't double Mazi and Micah Parsons. You can't. And I can guarantee you, one of those guys are getting to the quarterback's ass. That's the way it works. And so you put Mazi Smith or Hankins in the middle. You get them to have to use those 2 offensive linemen to try and move them out the way. Everybody else feasts. And that's how it's going to work. So all of you doomsayer, he's a bust, get him out of here, he's a bum. Dudes, I have seen some of the worst, and I mean worst, nose play for the Dallas Cowboys for the last 15 years, since Jay Ratcliffe. We've had nobodies in there. We have been literally the parting of the Red Sea. Even as bad as some of you guys say he played last week, that's still far better than what a lot of guys who've been starting have been playing at that position. So be cool. Relax. Give him some time. Let him at least, no longer be wet behind the ears. Let him get into a real game and bust his cherry. Just wait and see. Y'all gave up on Micah Parsons and said he's a bust. And as Micah Parsons put it, he looked like ass against Tampa Bay his first game. Y'all gave up on Jalen Tolbert. Yeah. And now you look at it saying, maybe that guy should be starting. So you gave up on Terrence Steele. And now he's one of our better offensive linemen. Let's just kind of trust the process here, guys. Just a little bit. All right, good people. It's back to work for me. I got some more work to do in the workshop, and I'll be headed back to the Red Brick House tomorrow. Make sure you tune in tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll be here, and I'll see you then. Peace.